Hi students, welcome to SP Chemistry. In today's session, we will study class 12 subject chemistry chapter the solid state concept crystal lattices and unit cells sub concept unit cell in 2D and 3D lattice crystal system and link concept primitive unit cells centered unit cells various geometrical arrangements and structure. At the end of the session, the learners will be able to differentiate primitive cells and centered unit cells, describe various crystal systems and calculate number of atoms in primitive, body-centered and face-centered cubic unit cells. So let us start the solid state part 3. Contents are crystal lattices and unit cells, characteristics of a lattice, characteristics of a unit lattice, primitive and centered unit cells, types of centered unit cells, 7 primitive unit cells, and that is crystal systems, number of atoms in primitive cubic unit cell, body centered and face centered cubic unit cell, and at the end of the session we will discuss some evaluative questions and answers. Let us start crystal lattices and unit cells. So what is a crystal lattice? As we know, the main characteristic of crystalline solid is a regular and repeating pattern of constituent particles. If the three-dimensional arrangement of constituent particle in a crystal is represented diagrammatically, in which each particle is depicted as a point. This is known as lattice point, and this arrangement is known as crystal lattice. So what is a crystal lattice? We can say a regular three-dimensional arrangement of points in space is called a crystal lattice. There are only 14 possible three-dimensional lattices known as Bravais lattices. So we will discuss characteristics of a lattice. What are the characteristics? Each point in a crystal lattice is called a lattice point or lattice site. Each point in a crystal lattice represents what? One constituent particle, which may be an atom or group of atoms, that is known as a molecule, or an ion. And lattice points are joined by straight lines to bring out the geometry of the lattice. So these are the characteristics of a lattice. Then characteristics of a unit lattice. What does it mean? In the three-dimensional crystal structure, unit cell is characterized by its dimensions along three edges. Three axes as we know, and here these edges A, B and C. And here A, B, C all are mutually perpendicular, but it may not be mutually perpendicular also. And angles between the edges, that is alpha, here alpha between B and C, beta between A and C, and gamma between A and B. So these are 6 parameters by which a unit lattice is characterized. So what are the parameters? 3 edges A, B, C and 3 angles. Angles, or you can say interfacial angles or axial angles. Those are alpha, beta and gamma. So 6 parameters by which a unit lattice is characterized. Those parameters are A, B, C and angles alpha, beta and gamma. Let us come to primitive and centered unit cells. So primitive unit cells, when constituent particles are present only on the corner position. Constituent particles are present only on the corner positions of a unit cell. Those type of unit cell known as primitive unit cell. Then centered unit cell. In centered unit cell, when a unit cell contains one or more constituent particles present at other position, means other than kernel, constituent particles are present in addition to that of kernel also, right? That means what is the difference between primitive unit cells and centered unit cell? In primitive unit cell, constituent particles are present only on the kernel position. But in centered unit cell, constituent particles are present at position other than the kernels in addition to those at kernel. Clear? Then types of centered unit cell. So centered unit cell are of three types. First one, body centered unit cell. So body centered, from its name we can say such unit cell contains one constituent particle. Constituent particle may be atom or group of atoms, molecule or ion at its body centered. Besides the ones that are at its kernel. Already we have discussed, in centered unit cell, constituent particles are present at kernel as well as at any other position than that of kernel. And in body centered unit cell, that other position is at body centered. So body centered unit cell contains one constituent particle at its body centered in addition to its kernels. Then face centered unit cell. Such unit cell contains one constituent particle present at the center of each face. It is very easy to remember. Face centered means one constituent particle present at the center of each face, besides the ones that are at its kernel, right? Then end centered unit cell. In end centered unit cell, one constituent particle is present at the center of any two opposite faces in addition to that of kernels. That means in BCC, one constituent particle is present at its body center in addition to that of kernel. In FCC, constituent particle is present at the center of each face along with its kernels. And end centered unit cell, one constituent particle is present at the center of any two opposite faces in addition to that of kernels also. Then here types of centered unit cells. You can see here first one, cubic. Cubic, these are, you can say, 7 crystal systems also. Cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, hexagonal, then rhombohedral, monoclinic and triclinic. So we will discuss one by one. And in exam, direct objective questions come from this crystal system. And in cubic crystal system, you can say here edges are A is equal to B is equal to C. I will say the tricks how to remember and axial angles or interfacial angles, that means angle between the faces. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degree in cubic crystal system. Then what are the variations possible? Here in all the crystal systems, primitive variation is possible in all, right? Then in cubic crystal system, primitive, body centered and face centered, these are three variations are possible in cubic crystal system. And examples of cubic crystal system, you can remember sodium chloride is an example of cubic crystal system. Then tetragonal crystal system. In tetragonal crystal system, you can see here A is equal to B. These are edge length is not equal to C, right? Then what are the axial angles? Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degree, right? Then what are the possible variations? Here two possible variations, that is primitive and body centered. Then example of tetragonal crystal system, you can remember calcium sulfate. And other examples I will provide in a tabular form, you can remember also. The next come to orthorhombic crystal system. In orthorhombic crystal system, you can see here A is not equal to B is not equal to C, right? Then what are the interfacial angles or axial angles? Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degree. Then what are the examples? For orthorhombic, it is easy to remember. You can say rhombic sulfur is an example of orthorhombic crystal system. Then hexagonal. In hexagonal crystal system, variation, and here in orthorhombic, variations are primitive, body centered, face centered and end centered. All possible variations, 4 possible variations are there in orthorhombic crystal system. Then hexagonal crystal system. In hexagonal, A, edge length A is equal to B is not equal to C. You can observe here. And alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 degree and gamma another angle is 120 degree. And a very famous example of hexagonal crystal system is graphite. And only primitive variation is possible here. Only primitive units. Then rhombohedral crystal system. In rhombohedral also only one variation, that is primitive, and this is also known as trigonal crystal system. And you can write A is equal to B and is equal to C, and alpha, beta, gamma all are equal but not equal to 90 degree. And example of this rhombohedral, you can remember HGS, that is cinnabar. Cinnabar is an example of rhombohedral or trigonal crystal system, and possible variation only primitive, right? Then monoclinic crystal system. In monoclinic, A, edge length A is not equal to B is not equal to C, and alpha, axial angle or interfacial angle, alpha is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degree, and other interfacial angle beta is not equal to 90 degree. So this is monoclinic crystal system, and variations are primitive and end centered. And example of monoclinic crystal system, you can remember monoclinic sulfur, right? Then at the end, triclinic crystal system. Triclinic, only one variation, that is primitive, and age length you can see here, A is not equal to B and is not equal to C. And alpha, here alpha is not equal to beta and is not equal to gamma and is not equal to 90 degree also. And example of this triclinic crystal system, you can remember copper sulfate 5H2O, that means water of crystallization is 5, that is blue vitriol. Copper sulfate 5 water is known as blue vitriol, is an example of triclinic crystal system. Then all these about different centered unit cell. Now how to remember all this? And one how I have remembered, I will share with you. You can make your own shortcut trick also. Here I have remembered as cute O, hero Munty. Cute means CU, cute. CU for cubic. TE for tetragonal, cute. O means orthorhombic, cute O. Hero, hero HERO, HE for hexagonal, and rho, RHO, rhombohedral, cute O, hero Munty. MON, mon, monoclinic, and T for triclinic. These are names of different centered unit cell. And what is the age length, interfacial angles, and possible variations, how to remember all this. Here you can see I have mentioned cute, CUTE, cute crystal system. Hero Munty. Then possible variations in all 7 crystal system, primitive variation is possible. Everywhere we can write primitive in all. So primitive variation is possible, primitive unit cell, that is possible in all 7 crystal system. Now you have to remember just 3 numerical, 3 to 4. 3 to 4 and order as we discussed, primitive, body centered, face centered, and end centered. So 3 to 4 means 3, first one cubic, 3, first 3 we will write body centered and face centered. So these 3 in cubic. Then 3 tetragonal 2, primitive already 1 and body centered is 2. Then orthorhombic, all the possible variation 3 to 4, it is 4, all body centered, face centered, and end centered. 3 to 4. Now primitive is present in all, then only monoclinic, end centered. We will end here. It is monoclinic. In this way you can remember. Then axial distance or age length. Age length, first one A, B, C all are equal. Then here A is equal to B and is not equal to C. Then A is not equal to B and is not equal to C. Then alpha, beta, gamma for all these 3 all are equal to 90. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma 90. Then examples you can remember here. Some examples are given, but objective questions are asked directly from age length, axial angles or interfacial angles, and examples also you can remember. Then hexagonal, A is equal to B, not equal to C. And two bond angles are observed here. Alpha is equal to beta, two interfacial angles 90 and another one is 120. And example is graphite, zinc oxide and cadmium sulfide. Then rhombohedral, ABC all are equal and alpha, beta, gamma all are equal but not equal to 90 degree. And example calcite, that is calcium carbonate, and HGS, that is Cinnaba. Then monoclinic, all are A is not equal to B, not equal to C, and here two bond interfacial angles are 90 and another one is not equal to 90. And example easy to remember, monoclinic sulfur. Then primitive observation unit cell is observed in triclinic, and triclinic is most distorted one. A is not equal to B, not equal to C. All edge lengths are unequal and all bond angles are also not equal to 90 and all bond axial angles or interfacial angles are different. Then example you can remember. So in this way you can remember this tabular form of different crystal systems, and only 14 Bravais lattices are possible here. Then here already we have discussed in detail all the 14 types of Bravais lattices. You can note down in your copy. Now let us start primitive cubic unit cell. What does it mean? Primitive cubic unit cell has atoms only at its kernel. Then each atom at a kernel is shared between 8 adjacent unit cells. Here you can see at kernel this constituent particle or atom is adjacent to here 1 and here 2, this is 3 and this is 4. Then above also in that way, above 1, this one, 2, 3, 4. In this way this atom is adjacent to how many unit cells? 8 unit cells. So its contribution per unit cell will be 1/8, that is 1/8. So this is primitive cubic unit cell. You can see here atoms are present only at kernels, and cubic, just you imagine a 3-dimensional structure of a cube. A cube has 8 kernels. Above 4 also. So 8 kernels are there, and at all kernels atoms are present, and this is the open structure of a cubic unit cell. And here you can see space filling structure in this way. This is space filling structure of a primitive cubic unit cell. Here you can see only atoms are present at kernel, since it is adjacent to 8 unit cells. Its contribution per unit cell is 1/8. It is shown here, right? This is actual portion of atoms belonging to 1 unit cell. That means its contribution per unit cell is 1/8, as it is adjacent to 8 unit cells, right? Now we will calculate number of atoms in primitive cubic unit cell. Already we have discussed a primitive cubic unit cell has 8 atoms in its kernel. So each atom at a kernel is shared between 8 adjacent unit cells. Therefore 4 unit cells in same plane and 4 above or below the plane. Already I have shown this. Then only 1/8 of an atom or a molecule, what may be the constituent particle, or it may be ion also, actually belongs to a particular unit cell. So each small sphere represents only the vertex and not the actual size, right? Such structures are called open structures. And in all, since each cubic unit cell has 8 atoms on its 8 corners, total number of atoms in unit cell, how we will calculate? 8 corner at 8 corners, 8 atoms are present. So 8 corners, we will write 8, and the contribution of each atom per unit cell is 1 by 8, because one atom is adjacent to 8 unit cells. So its contribution per unit cell will be 1 by 8. So total it will be 8 into 1 by 8 is equal to 1 atom. So number of atoms in primitive cubic unit cell is 1. Now let us come to body-centered cubic unit cell. From its name you can see body-centered cubic unit cell has an atom at its corners, as well as at all corners atoms are present. At its body center one atom is present. Just you imagine this is an open structure of a BCC, 8 corner cube, 3D dimensional figure, structure of a cube. Just you imagine here 4 at the top and 4 at the bottom, 8 corners, 8 atoms are present, and at its body center one atom is present, right? And this is a space filling structure. Here 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and below also similarly, just below 1, 2, 3, and below just this atom another is not visible here, but 4 above and 4 below, and at its body center one atom is present. Now we will see its contribution. At body center this is one atom completely present in this unit cell. So it contributes whole part of its towards this constituent unit cell. So its contribution is one atom, but these corner atoms, since corner atom is adjacent to 8 unit cells, its contribution will be 1 by 8. Now we will calculate number of atoms in body centered cubic unit cell. A body centered cubic unit cell has an atom at each of its corners and also one atom at its body center. So 8 corners, contribution will be 8 into contribution of each atom per unit cell is 1 by 8. So 8 into 1 by 8, 1 atom. Then the contribution of that body center, it is wholly present inside the unit cell. So its contribution is 1. So total number of atoms present, total number of atoms per unit cell will be 1 plus 1. That is 2 atoms. So number of atoms in body centered cubic unit cell is 2. Total number of atoms, if questions will be asked to you, answer will be 2. Let us come to face centered cubic unit cell. So face centered, from its name you can say this unit cell contains atoms at all the corners and at the center of all faces. All the corners and at the center of all the faces of the cube. Here you can see an atom at face is shared between how many unit cell? This is one unit cell, this is another unit cell. So since this atom at the face center is shared between 2 unit cell, its contribution per unit cell will be 1 by 2. Then here open structure, you can see, just you imagine 3-dimensional structure of a cube. 1, 2, as we know cube has 8 corners, here 4 corner, 4 atoms, below 4 corners, 4 atoms. So as a whole a cube has 8 corners, 8 atoms are present. And in FCC a cube has how many faces? 6 faces. So each face center 1 atom is present. So 1, 2, here 3, here 4, this is 5, this is 6. So 6 faces of a cube and each face center 1 atom is present. And this is space filling structure. And here we will see actual portion of atoms belonging to 1 unit cell. Here already we have seen at face center 1 atom is shared between 2 unit cell. So its contribution is 1 by 2. Here you see. And like this, how many atoms are present? At face center 6 atoms. Here 3 are visible and 3 other sides are not visible, just opposite sides. 3 atoms and its contribution is 1 by 2, and other 3 sides, as we know a cube has 6 faces and each face center 1 atom is present. And since 1 atom at its face center is shared between 2 unit cells, so its contribution per unit cell will be 1 by 2. And at corner 1 by 8, already we have discussed before. 8 corners, 8 atoms are present, but since each atom is adjacent to 8 unit cells, so its contribution per unit cell will be 1 by 8. Now we will calculate number of atoms in face centered cubic unit cell. So here you can see in face center 8 corner atoms and contribution of each atom per unit cell, that is 1 by 8. So total 8 into 1 by 8 is equal to 1 atom from corner atoms, right? Then in FCC 6 faces, so 6 face centered atoms and its contribution per unit cell is 1 by 2. So 6 into 1 by 2, that is 3 atoms. So as a whole, the total number of atoms per unit cell in FCC, that is face centered cubic unit cell, is 4. So in this way, number of atoms in primitive unit cell and body centered cubic unit cell and face centered cubic unit cell is calculated. Dear students, let us discuss some evaluative questions. First question for you, give the significance of a unit lattice. So what does it mean? The lattice point means what? The lattice point denotes the position of a particular constituent in the crystal lattice. It may be an atom, or it may be a group of atoms, or it may be ion. The arrangement of lattice points in space is responsible for the shape of the particular crystalline solid. So in this way you can write answer to question number 1. Then next question, name the parameters that characterize a unit cell. So what are the parameters? Already we have discussed 6 parameters describe the characteristic of a unit cell. Those parameters are what? 3 edges, ABC, and interfacial angles or interaxial angles. You can say the angle between the edges, that is alpha between B and C, beta between A and C, and gamma between A and B. So these are the 6 parameters which characterize a unit cell. Then next question for you, distinguish between hexagonal and monoclinic unit cell. So hexagonal already we have discussed, let us repeat. hexagonal and monoclinic. As we know, in hexagonal, A is equal to B, is not equal to C, and alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 and gamma is equal to 120. We discussed this is an example of graphite. Hexagonal, two bond angles are present. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 and gamma is equal to 120. And example of hexagonal is graphite. But in a monoclinic unit cell, A is not equal to B, not equal to C, and alpha is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degree and beta is not equal to 90 degree. And example of monoclinic unit cell, you can write monoclinic sulfur, right? Then next question, how to distinguish between face-centered and end-centered unit cell. This is a fundamental question. So in face-centered unit cell, constituent particles are located at all the corners as well as the center of all the faces. Then in end-centered unit cell, constituent particles are located at all the corners as well as at the center of two opposite faces, right? Then next question, last question for you. Explain how much portion of an atom is located at, that means its contribution of kernel atom and body center of a cubic unit cell. We have discussed it in detail. Then an atom at the kernel is shared between how many adjacent cells? 8 adjacent unit cells. Hence, the portion of the atom at kernel that belongs to one unit cell is 1 by 8. And at body center, an atom is not shared by any other unit cell. Hence, it belongs fully, entirely to that particular unit cell. So, its contribution will be 1. Right? So, dear students, these are answers to all evaluative questions. You can note down in your copy. And in next class, we will discuss different types of close packed structure. So, thank you all.